Hi guys, welcome back to another season of the Make It Easy podcast. My name is Shalomeni, and I know guys, it has been so long, but I'm here. Thank you for everyone who has constantly reminded me that I was supposed to come back for season 2 a few months ago. But here I am now, and I'm so excited. I hope your year has started out well. I hope your second quarter of the year is going on well, and I cannot wait to start the conversations and just take you through the whole season. And as we said when we were winding up on season 1, that we'll be having guests this season, and I cannot wait to just bring them to you and just dive into conversations. And yeah, so excited. I hope you're doing well. If you're listening to us through Spotify, make sure you leave a comment, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and if you're watching us from YouTube, make sure you like, share, subscribe, and comment. And I'm so excited. So this is the Make It Easy podcast. In case you're wondering what the whole podcast is about, in this podcast we just have conversations that challenge our way of thinking, all in the aim of making life easier. You remember like that topic in class 8, yeah, where we were being taught about tools that will make our work easier, and when you use those tools, your work will be made easier. So now we just have conversations that challenge our way of thinking and make us look at life more positively, because everything is doable, there's always a way to do something, yeah? We just have to figure out how to do it. So yes, today we have a guest, as we promised. So I'll let him introduce himself. Brian, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling great.
You're feeling great?
Awesome, yeah.
You're our first guest on the podcast. How
Wow,
does it feel?
Thank you.
You're our first guest.
Feels
good?
So much. Yeah, feels so good.
Yeah, so I'd like you to introduce yourself, tell us who you are,
Yeah.
what you do. Yes, before we get into the conversation today.
Thank you so much. Hello, family. My name is NYAMBEGO. I'm an author, a speaker, personal branding trainer. Above all, I'm a firstborn in a family of 6 kids, and I'm happy to be here today at the Make It Easy podcast just to share, or rather speak out myself for my generation. Yeah, thank you.
Wow, that's nice.
Uh-huh.
All right, so I think we'll just go straight into the conversation. So today, we'll be talking about embracing the gift.
Yeah.
And embracing the gift and the pressures that or the challenges that come with it. So according to you, how do you understand embracing the gift? When I tell you, when you hear such a word or such a sentence, what comes to your mind?
I think it's more of, there is this quote by theologian Howard Thurman that says, don't ask yourself what the world needs, ask yourself what makes you come alive, then go do that, because what the world needs are people who have come alive. So I think it's more of coming alive and knowing who you are, because I think for me, being an author, or rather being a personal branding trainer, is something that is in me, and it's a dream that I not only had, I still have for my generation, for the future. So I think that's what it means to embrace the gift, and also to realize that at the end of the day, it's about how you want to use your gift, or rather your dream, to impact the generation that is already here.
So you've mentioned you are a personal branding trainer. Okay, so would you give us just a brief journey of how you came to realize that that is your gift, or that is what you're called to do, or that is what you love doing?
So I think I'll roll the tape down probably six years ago, or rather, is it 6 or 7, somewhere there. I remember when I was in high school, back in Form 1, that is grade 9, right? Yeah. So I was writing articles. I used to write articles. I didn't know why. I was so much into books that were talking about business, Rich Dad Poor Dad, if you read the book. Which other book? I think The Diary of a CEO, such kind of books.
Yeah.
So I didn't realize why, but all the way, by the time I got to Form 3 is when I realized that it's something that has been deposited in me, because my father wanted me to become a pilot, but personally for myself, I felt like, if I decide to be an author, I'll probably travel the world, impacting young people, talking to them, because just a line in the book could change someone's life. The whole book could change someone's life. It depends on who I wanted to reach out to. So I think that's where my journey started, and then by the time I was done with high school, published my first book, and then yeah, from there I think the journey has been awesome. I can say that's where the journey started basically, and I'm so happy because I chose what was in me. That's the gift, and I embraced it. Yeah.
You embraced the gift.
Yeah.
So you have talked about your journey embracing the gift. What would you say were the obstacles or the pressures that came in when you realized, like, you know what, this is what I want to do. I want to start writing. I want to become a personal branding trainer. What were the obstacles? Because I'm sure it has not been a straight
Yeah.
journey all through.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. The journey started when my father wanted me to be a pilot. He
Yeah.
applied more than 20 scholarships for me. 2 of them came by. I said no, I'm not leaving the country. So that was the first one. And I came to realize that at the end of the day, we all have two dreams in life. You have your dream and your parents' dream. When I mean your parents' dream is something that your parent didn't achieve. Probably, let's say, my dad wanted to become a pilot, and he didn't manage to get to that point. So he wanted me to accomplish a dream that he had. And from my end, I wanted to become an author, a personal branding trainer. So it's either I could have aborted or rather not decided to embrace my gift and followed my dad's path. So that's the first obstacle I got. And then but I bet it, and I decided that, you know what, I'm taking what's mine, and that is what I'm going to do. And then the second obstacle is age. You know, what I usually tell people is that age is just a number when you have a big dream. Going into corporates at 21 years, it's tough, yes. But at the end of the day, if you believe in yourself, because a wise man once said that when your dreams are too big, some things are too small.
Yeah.
So I think sometimes you need to realize that age is just a number. The only thing you need to do is just to dream, dare, and do. Those three things are very key. Age, number two. And then I think the last thing is the pressures that we all have in life.
Yeah.
Seeing a friend of yours who's probably 22, he's a millionaire. Seeing your friend who's 21, he's a millionaire. And then you're like, wow, I need to be there as well, where they are, not realizing that we all have a different pace in life. So I think for me, it's more of those have been the three major challenges, but I've come to realize that everybody is built in a different way.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes it's like, let's say in marriage, people will marry, there's someone who will marry at 20, another person will marry at 25, someone will marry at 27, another one at 30, 35, someone will marry at 60, and probably someone else at 70, and they will all be happy. So I think it's all about everybody has their own pace in life. So yeah, those are the three major challenges or rather obstacles that I've been able to see. Yeah.
I love something that you've said, that there are two dreams, your dream and your parents' dream. So I feel like most of us, we get caught up in achieving our parents' dream. Because, I mean, of course, they want the best for us. They wish the best for us. But sometimes in that path, they get to... we get to live their dreams, so to say. Because you said he wanted you to become a pilot. You didn't want to become a pilot. And you did, you've said you did, dared, dreamt,
dare, do.
dare do. So I feel that is one of the biggest challenges we have across young people, because there are pressures that come from, you know, our parents. Our parents want us to achieve such and such a dream, such and such a career, such and such a... They think that this is our gift, but according to us, that is not what we feel like. That is not what we feel like we are called to do. So I feel like most of us really struggle to, you know, how do I embrace my gift, and yet this is not what my... Could you just take us through how you did it? Because I feel like this is something that most of us go through. I feel like I'm talented in probably art, you know, but that is not something that my mom or my dad or whoever sees as the right path for me. How did you navigate through, okay, Dad, I want to become an author, and you don't want this for me? How did you go through it?
The whole process was tough because you see, there's a difference between a choice and a decision. So I had to make a decision because anyone can make a choice. At the end of the day, the decision stands to be probably like it might stand out to be probably that's what makes out your life or breaks out your life. So I think for me, I made a decision and I said, you know what, I'm taking this path because it's mine. Fast forward 2 months, we didn't talk with my dad. Like, my dad used to come home, then he's like, hi guys, that's it. Like, angekuja home amebonda, and then I'm like, okay.
You're not talking at all.
We're not talking. We didn't talk for like 2 months
So
straight.
that was after you had decided, like, Dad, I'm not doing this.
Yeah. So, but now when I decided to, it's one thing when I made that decision, then came with a lot of consequences. Let's say me not talking to my dad 2 months straightforward. Then after that, what else happened? I think it was more of after not talking to my dad for 2 good months, he just decided that okay, I just have to accept the fact that he decided to take his path. Now it was from my end to show him that this dream is worth it, or rather it's worth taking a risk. So what I did is, after publishing my book, I had to make sure that I looked for the right mentors, people to give me the access, the networks, the stages to speak, and all that. When I sold my first 100 books, sorry, I sent almost half of the money to him. He was like, okay, so this thing is working
It pays
out.
off.
Yeah, it pays off. So it's like my first when my first bunch of like 1,000 copies came.
Yeah.
My mentor bought 100 copies, sent me 50,000 shillings, sent my dad 25,000 shillings. Then sometimes that's a salary to some people. So
To
it was
someone,
like,
yeah.
okay, in a day he sent me this. So what if I believe in this dream 10 years down the line? What will it be like? So I think I showed him, because at the end of the day, sometimes most of the young people, what they look at is, okay, my parent doesn't appreciate what I'm doing, my parent doesn't want to support what I'm doing. But at the end of the day, we need to make them believe that, you know what, it's worth taking a shot, it's worth taking a risk. So that's what I did. Then from there, I think the access I was given, I used it very well. The people, the CEOs who I was, let's say, introduced to, I made it worth it. And then he was like, okay, you know what, take a risk, or rather, let me give it a shot. Then yeah, here we are today. He's a happy man. He's proud of who I've become. And I'm like, okay, if probably I decided to take that course, or rather that scholarship, it's okay, I could have been getting a good paycheck. But at the end of the day, there's a difference between doing something you love, and there's a difference between doing something you don't love to sustain yourself. So for me, it's more of doing something that I love to sustain myself, and also to impact a generation. Yeah.
So you've said you made a point to show him that indeed this path, or this this path that you want to follow is going to pay off.
Yeah.
Because now the dilemma comes when I tell my parent I want to do such and such. I think I'm gifted in, let's say, art. I'm gifted in art, but then what am I doing about it? Your parent is telling you do this other thing. I want you to do this other thing, but they're telling them no, I want to do art, for example, and you're not showing, like, what do you have to give? What most of us, like you've said, they come in empty-handed.
Yeah.
So our parents don't really see, why should I let you do such and such a such and such a thing, and yet it's not going to pay off.
Yeah.
So I think this is just to tell everyone who is probably trying to find out their gift, and they feel like this is not what my parents or my guardians want for me. Try as much as possible to get to show them that this path is going to pay off. And of course, it won't start at all of a sudden.
Yeah.
There are steps. You did not at tell your dad, I want to become an author, and then the next day you have written a book. Because I know, of course, publishing is
it's a lot.
it's expensive. I know.
Yeah.
So there's a process, right? There's a process. You need people. You cannot do it at your own. So I want us to talk about the role, just since we are already speaking about it, the role of parents in embracing our gifts, the role of parents in discovering our gifts. Do you think our parents play a role in that?
I think they do play a role in that. So basically, I think for me, my dad, when he decided to support me, he went all in.
Yeah.
When he decided to believe in the vision, he went all in. So I think the early mornings, the late nights, he was there for me. But at some point, again, it's after I showed him that I was interested, or rather I was invested in what I was going to do. So that's when he also decided to put in the value, because at the end of the day, value appreciates value. And if you're in an environment where you're devalued, at the end of the day, you'll go all the way down. So I think they usually play a very, very big role in what we do, but it depends on or rather I can say it depends with our energy. You know, you have to match your energy with their energy. If they decide to believe in you all the way up, then you also have to decide to believe that at the end of the day, like, you have to believe in your dream as much as they believe in it. So I think, yeah, they do play a big
So
role.
you're saying, like, apart from now them believing in us, we also have a role to play.
Yeah.
If I've told my parent I want to pursue music, I feel like I'm called to music. I feel like, you know, this is the path
Yeah,
that I
yeah.
want to follow. The task is up to us now to, like, show them that this is not a waste. If probably they have invested their money or anything, this is not something that is going to waste. No. All right. So let's talk about society. Do you feel like society
Yeah.
changes or makes us embrace our, does it make it easier to embrace our gifts, or what is your take on the role that society plays?
Society, okay, I think
Society
I
meaning just the people around you, you know, your, apart from your family, your neighbors, the people that of course you interact with on a day-to-day basis.
I think I'll just use a simple thing that Vusi posted like a day ago. He said, your water might be clean, or rather, your water might be clean, but the pool is dirty. So whether your water is clean, then you pour it in a dirty pool. At the end of the day, it will end up to be dirty. So your environment matter a lot. Let's say you're a big dreamer, a big thinker, but you get to a circle of people who are thinking small. At the end of the day, you'll end up thinking small. So society plays a big role in terms of, let's say, if you decide to put yourself in an environment where you're devalued, so at the end of the day, you'll feel devalued. And also, after feeling devalued, you start thinking negatively. Or rather, if you get to if you're, let's say, a small thinker and get to a circle where you have people who are thinking big, then you'll have to shape up to get to those standards. So I think, yeah, it does big time. Yeah, for me, I think it's because I've had friends who think big, like you. You know, starting a podcast and doing what you're doing today, it's because this is something big. There are people who you'll be like, okay, you'll ask them, why haven't you started a podcast? They'll be like, okay, I don't have the resources. And you know, that's sometimes I can term that as thinking small, because there are friends who are ready to support you, and the only thing you need to do is just to talk to them. They're just a call away, a text away. You know, that's why we are here today. So I think at the end of the day, it's more of, yeah, society really plays a big role. Yeah.
And I love what you've said about knowing your value. And I think we did an episode on that last season, whereby I feel like most of us, yes, I know I am gifted in singing, I know I'm gifted in speaking, or whatever area I'm gifted in, but the people around me, they're like, it is not, it's something that, you know, they don't really, they're like, you don't have to do it, you know, you're young, wait until you get to a certain age. So I feel your environment really matters. And one thing that we should always strive to do is to put ourselves, or to place ourselves in environments, or surround ourselves with people that see the value in us. Because I might be a good singer, I might be a good artist or speaker, whatever area I'm called into. But if the people surrounding me don't see that, then I'm as good as nothing. You know, if they cannot speak life into my gift, if they cannot speak life into my dream, then I won't be able to be confident enough to show myself to people out there. Because if I come and it's just like in the Bible, we see this story about Joseph. When Joseph had a dream, and you know, he saw that everyone was bowing down before him, and of course he was the last one. He went to tell the brothers, you know what, I had a dream and you guys, you were all worshiping me. And then the brothers are like, what do you mean? You're younger than us, you know, how can that even happen? Even the father's like, no, that's not happening. How? What do you mean? So I feel like if we should not be too quick to, we should assess our environments rather. If I know, Brian, when I come to tell you this is not something that you will be so, you will not embrace, I should not come and do that, because this now tends to lower our self-esteem. This tends to feel to make us feel like, you know, our gift is not worth it, our dream is not. If my friends don't see it, why then should I take it out to the world? So we should really be careful with the people that surround us. let us always strive to walk around people, be around people that see the value in us, that see the good in us, and tell us to, you know, and encourage us that we can be more and more and we can do more.
Yeah.
So let's talk about friends. What role have friends played in your journey of becoming, a personal
Yeah.
branding trainer, an author, and you know, what role has
Number one, I think for me, I have friends who hold me accountable, number one, both spiritually, mentally, physically, financially,
Yeah.
like all those. I think we all need a friend who's accountable, like who will hold you accountable in terms of if you decided that you're starting this podcast. Like I think a month ago or rather 2 months ago, I reminded you that you know what, you need to do like you need to do this, you know, because you'd taken a lot of time. Then I was like, no way. So, and sometimes when I haven't done something, you'll also hold me accountable, be like, okay, did you move out, did you do this, you get those small things. And then at the end of the day, you need someone who's a crazy friend. Is that friend who will tell you, okay, by next week we need to, okay, like this day, you know, before the event, we had a budget, was up to, okay, the budget was hitting around
the
a
event?
million.
Most of us, most people don't know about the event.
Yeah, I'll tell them.
Tell us about the event. Tell us
Yeah, so I think we had a budget of around 1 million shillings.
Yeah.
Then when we got to Felix's office,
Yeah.
he was like, "You guys pull this budget to 3 million." That's a crazy friend. And then he was like, "I'll give you access. I'll give you networks, but the networks I'm going to give you are going to provide what I'm telling you." So we need such crazy friends. And then the other thing, I think we need people who will let us be vulnerable when we're with them. We'll tell them, you know, the things that we feel like, you know, someone like me, probably there's someone I can't open up to, but there's that one friend that I'll go and tell them, you know what, I'm going through this.
Kubaya.
Hey. I'll go and be like, Maze, you know,
not
people
looking
out,
good.
it's not looking good.
Yeah.
People out here think, you know, this good,
Yeah.
but right now I'm this good, and they'll understand you. So I think those are the three key main friends that I have, and they really helped me out in terms of my journey. You know, when I, for you know, when let's say when I've been broke, or rather, you know, your journey to you know, and it's like, you know, when I have money and when I don't, that such kind of, you know, we need you need such kind of people, and people who will like be there for you at your lowest and at your highest. So yeah, I think they do, and that they have, because like the event we did last month, we hosted 2,000 young people in MKU. I don't know if you guys came, but if you came, thank
Tell
you
us
so
about
much.
the event. Tell us. Let's go back.
Yeah, I think on 30th of March we hosted an event at MKU where we gathered 2,000 young people, and our 4 main agendas were leadership, communication, personal branding, and entrepreneurship. Brought speakers from all across, not just Kenya, outside Ghana. We brought Moses B. Arthur, and we also brought Lynn Ngugi, Robert Burale was there, Ndindi Nyoro came, Denis Itumbi came. We had quite a number of people, and yeah, it was a success. And I can say it's because of the team and the friends that I have, like you, who made it possible, you know, because if you didn't believe in my vision, then I mean, who am I? Because I mean, gathering those 2,000 people, it's not just about me, it's about the friends that I have.
Yeah.
So I think friends do play a very big role in our becoming, and our journey of becoming who we are. Yeah, like they kind of have that, you know, there's this statement, this is that, you know, where you were before and where you are today, it's two different things, but you know, this is that. The is where the friends play that role. They either act as a bridge from you becoming from this to that, or rather they either decide to become a broken bridge whereby from this to that you'll fall. Yeah.
And I think this is the right time to give you your flowers, because we have been friends for quite a few years.
Yeah.
And you have also played a very huge role in my journey of becoming.
Yeah.
And I remember when I wanted to do this podcast, you're one of the people I told, and then you're like, okay, let's start. What do you need? You need a microphone, you
Yeah.
need this and this and this. You just start. And it was, I was not really sure about it, but you know, the constant affirmation of, you know, Shalom, just do it.
Yeah.
Let's start. And this, I think we all need such kind of people who will
Yeah.
hold you down and tell you, okay, unataka kufanya hivi, sawa, let's do this.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think right now, this generation, there's a gap because we don't have. You can find that, for example, in your circle or people that are around you, there's that one person or there are those few people who are kind of, shutting or banning, making your dream not come alive.
Yeah.
You see, and that is something that really, if, for example, I came and told you, because of course you're good friends, and I'm like, Brian, I want to start this podcast, and then you're like, just trying to make me not do it, that will have really discouraged me.
Yeah.
So this is just to tell people out there that if I see, if you're my friend, or if I have a friend and then I see that there's a potential in new brand,
Yeah.
I should not be shy or I should not feel scared to call it out from you, because I feel like you're going to shine so bright and dim my own light. We should be like candles, because you can use another candle to light another candle.
Yeah.
So let us just be there for each other. Let us learn that Brian becoming does not mean that Shalom is not also
Yeah.
becoming, because that is the problem we have. You see, like I'd probably feel like if Brian, you continue becoming, growing in your career and everything that you do, being an author, because I'm also an author, I'd be like, if you want to do a certain number of books and I have only done one, I don't want you to do that,
Yeah.
because I don't want you to become bigger than me.
Yeah.
That's the problem we have.
Yeah.
So we should always, meaning lighting your light, making you be able to light your candle does not mean that my candle will go off.
Yeah.
I can light your candle and still have my candle lit.
Yeah.
So that is I think that is something that we should all learn, that we should always be there, and not just being there at 50-50 or ile ya so that you see I'm there for you, but be there through the journey. And that also builds friendships.
Yeah.
Because if I have been there through your deepest and darkest times, I'll be so confident, even when you become such a big brand, it will not be like, I will know Brian, I will know that this is someone who started from uko chini, and we've been growing and growing, and that will also make us be more confident in our dreams, more confident in our gifts. And yep.
I think the best statement to put that is it's better to light a dark room, or rather, it's better to light a dark room with a candle than to cast the darkness. Yeah, you either cast the darkness or light the dark room.
Because
So
I
it's a
cannot
two-way
light a
traffic.
candle without
Yeah.
without my candle being lit.
Because if you cast the darkness, that means like that's more of like bringing your friends down. When they're trying to move a little bit, you're pulling them down kidogo. So I think that's one thing that I have also seen in our generation. Young
Yeah.
people are pulling each other down. When you see your
And that's
brother
really
has made a
messing us
step,
up.
yeah, when you see your brother has stepped a little bit, you're trying to pull them down by it's just not good.
Sabotage.
Yeah,
Sabotage.
which is not okay. Yeah.
Okay. So as we wind up, in the midst of the pressure that comes with embracing the gifts, how have you been able to maintain your well-being? How have you been able to be like, okay, there's so much going on, there's this and this from my dad and whatnot. How have you been able to be like, oh, okay, I need to, how have you been able to cope, in short?
Okay. I think I'll use a simple situation like the floods and the rains in Kenya right now. Right now is the best time to buy a shamba. Right now is the best time to move out. Right now is the best time to, just there's a lot that you will know right now that if I bought a shamba here, then at the end of the day, if floods came, mazi zitafyeka nyumba yangu. Or rather nikihama hapa, when floods came, I think nitafika kwa nyumba nipate maji imejaa or something like that. Right now is that time whereby you'll know where the roof is leaking from. So when you're under pressure, you literally realize a lot of things that like it's just a lot that you realize. Hiyo ndio time to realize that Shalom doesn't work under pressure. Shalom tu akiambiwa hii kitu atakuwa stand still mpaka like isafishwe. That's when it will happen. For me, I'm that one person who, if I see something somewhere like a thermos imeko mahali na sitaki ikuwe hapo, I'll go pick it from there. Then na mtu akienda akichukua, then take it back to where it was. I'll go steal and then pick it up. When you're under pressure, I think for me, it's really shaped who I am today, and it's really made me know that, okay, some things, because okay, there are days whereby I had no one to buy my books. There are days whereby my dad was on my neck like, okay, Brian, if you don't achieve this, then we are going back to the drawing board. And the other thing is, the fact that one day I'll be a father to someone, or rather a father to my kids. I'm like, okay, you see, when we were in high school, sometimes ungesikia se wanaongelea their fathers, oh my dad, oh my dad, oh my mom, oh my mom. Sometimes we'll be like, niingilie conversation ama niache. You see, so when I look at that, I'm like, okay, one day my kid will be in such a situation. What will they say? Oh, my dad has done this for Kenya. My dad has done this for this country and this country and this country. They'll be proud to talk about me, not just me. And also I'll be in that position. Like, they'll be proud and happy. That's what I want for them. So that's why sometimes under pressure, I'll be like, I just have to do it, regardless. Not just for myself, but for my kids and for my generation. I just have to do it. I think those are the two main things that keeps me pushing. Number one, knowing that pressure, it's just like any other thing. It's either you become bitter or better from that situation. Yeah, bitter or better, because if you come from a situation and you're bitter, then at the end of the day, a generation will suffer. But if you come out of that situation better, then yeah, lives change. Because at the end of the day, a formula of becoming a millionaire or a billionaire is by changing a million lives and a billion lives. That's the formula. Look at the best brands in the world, like Coca-Cola, Colgate. These Coca-Cola has like offered something that serves billions of people across the globe. So at the end of the day, it's about that, changing something and leaving a legacy. So for me, that's what drives me when I'm under pressure.
Changing something and leaving a legacy. So if right now I'm starting out and I'm feeling the pressure to, like everyone is on my neck, I feel like there are these standards. I have already put a standard for myself.
Yeah.
So everyone is on me, like, Shalom, you need to do this, you need to do this. One thing that I've learned, or that you've said, is that you should know you're doing it for people who will come after you. You're not just doing it for Shalom. A few years from now, 10, 20 years, people will be like, okay, I am doing this because of someone so many years ago who, walked in faith, made a leap of faith, and did it.
Yeah.
So it's about knowing who is coming after me. My generations and generations to come will live off the fruits that we have the seeds that we have planted. So it's about thinking generationally and thinking that it's not about me. It's not just about me discovering that I can do this. It's about the people who will come after me.
Sure.
Okay, all right, that's nice. So as we wind up, last one, what are your last words? What do you have to say as we finish this?
I think
For someone who is probably someone has found out, okay, I think I'm gifted in this. I think this is something that I can do. I think this is something that I love doing. But then there are so many voices left, right, and center. Our parents, people around us, our friends, and you feel like, no, I cannot do this. Talk to that person who's still feeling uncertain and unsure about, do I follow this because I want it, or do I just go the easier way, doing what my parents think is the best route for me to follow? But this is also to mean, this is not also to mean that our parents, of course our parents want the good, and they're always looking out for us, but sometimes they get to make us live their dreams. They make, that's what you said, So what do you tell someone who's still trying to figure out their steps and just discovering their gift?
I think number one is tighten your belt. Number two, roll up your socks, or rather pull up your socks. Then the last thing is roll up your sleeves. What do I mean by that? Start off regardless of what is happening around you, because at the end of the day, you'll realize that making the first million is hard, but the second one is inevitable. So the thing is, once you've learned, or rather learned the game, learned the skill, then replicating it in another place, it won't be hard. Because you see, most of the businesses, fast forward the first 3 years, they usually fall because of when people are trying to learn the skill. But the more you learn the skill, the more you get it better. So it's about starting off, whatever you're doing, whatever journey you're in, or rather whatever business you're in, it's about just starting off and believing in yourself. Just you me, 1 year ago I wasn't the same person I am today. If I showed you pictures, you'd be like, yo, yo. So I think at the end of the day, it's about just believing in yourself and just moving forward and realizing that, and at the end of the day, the God aspect is very, very key.
Yeah.
Because for me, I can say, sahi naeza sema ni God.
Ni God.
Ni God.
It's not cliche.
Yeah,
Ni
ni
God.
God. It's true. Because at the end of the day, when I look at myself 12 months ago, I was in a very, very bad place.
Yeah.
Very bad place. But here I am today. The things I've done this year, it's literally, we're headed to the second quarter of the year. But the first quarter, the things I did, these are things that I really wanted to achieve for the whole year, but I achieved them on the first quarter. So the second quarter, I want to do more and more and more. So I think it's more of just starting off. That's what I'll tell any young people, any young person, any young dreamer starting off, and they have a big vision, and yeah, they want to just, and they feel like, ikitu nitaanza lini, or rather finances, there's just a lot. So it's just about starting off. Make that one call, just text that one person. And yeah, at the end of the day, you'll see yourself achieving a lot more than you expected. Yeah.
Oh,
I think
that's
my
nice.
last line. Yeah.
Stepping out, just start,
Start.
just make that one step, and then after that, everything else slowly. It's a process. It won't happen at today you have made that one call. That person will probably tell you no, but the moment you get the thick skin and just decide to put yourself out there, then that's the beginning.
Actually, the no means, when someone tells you no, this is what it means. It means that they're either afraid that if they stand in front of you, they'll bow to you, or rather they're loyal to someone else. So you have to define what that person means, because it's either you convince them to stand in front of you and bow to yourself, or rather try to make sure that they just move from that person that they're loyal to. So I think, yeah, just like if someone is dating someone and you go tell them, hi, can you be my girlfriend, can you be my boyfriend, and then they tell you no, that it means they're either like, okay, if I decide, I'm going all in, or rather they are dating, or rather they have someone in their life. That's what they will say. So it's a two-way traffic.
Yep, I guess that's it. That is where we wind up this episode. I hope you got something. I hope if you are in this situation or you're still trying to figure out to what's your gift and the pressures that are coming with it, I hope that this video speaks to you. I hope that you have learned something and you get to just make that one bold step of stepping out. And I remember the very first episode that we did here about growth, and I was explaining to you guys like the way our life as young people, or generally as individuals or human beings, the growth journey is quite a long journey. There are 4 stages. I simplified it to 4 stages, like that one of a butterfly. So it's up to you to know which stage of growth you're in. Are you in the first stage where people don't really realize or see the potential that is in you? Get to understand which stage you're at, and then from there work towards getting better. Don't silence, just make sure that you don't get to hear these voices from all around, because people will always have something to say, as I had mentioned in the previous episode. People will always have something to say. So this is up to you to get that thick skin and tell yourself, okay, this is what I want to do, this is what I feel I am called to, this is the gift that I have, let me do it. And I'm not doing it for myself, I'm doing it for the people who will come after me. I'm doing it so that someone else who's also gifted in such and such an area, when they get to realize their gift, they'll be like, if Shalom did it, then I can also do it. So don't just use your candle for yourself, use your candle to light other people's candles. Yeah. So that was it for today. I hope you like, share, subscribe, and if you're listening to us through Spotify, Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, make sure you leave a comment. I will see you next week. Have a lovely week. Bye.